Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. We are into the first full week of December now and we'll be covering games releasing from the 4th up until the 9th, and as we always do we'll have a look first at a couple of games that crept out without ever being in one of these videos before focusing on the week at hand. Before we start, a thank you to all of you that have downloaded Disney Emoji Blitz using our link. Remember, if you download it, get yourself to level 10 and then tweet us at SwitchUpG, you have a chance to win one of our recent kids picks from our sales video. We've already given away a few of these codes, but we do have a few left, so link will be in the top pinned comment if you want to take part. So what's coming out for the Switch this week? Well, let's find out. Let's start with a couple of games that are already out then, and the first is Paradise Lost. This is a first-person game set in a time where World War II lasts 20 years longer and ends in nuclear missiles being launched, decimating Europe. You play as a 12-year-old boy who finds an abandoned nuclear bunker which leads to an underground city. It costs £13.49, but it does currently have a sale on until Boxing Day actually, but you can save even more money by owning one of the publishers' All-In Games other games for the Switch. Also creeping out last week was DoDonPachi Resurrection. This is the 5th game in the DonPachi series and is the latest of the cave shooters to come to the Switch following Musehime-sama and Escaluda 2. This released in arcades in 2008 and was also available on the Xbox 360 a couple of years later, and as far as I can see this is the same as those other two releases I just mentioned, where it is an amalgamation of the original release for the Xbox 360 as well as the Black Label release which came out a year or so later, and therefore includes all of the content from those two versions. I know this is a very well loved game amongst shooter fans, and I'm sure many people with a love for the genre have already picked it up. For everyone else it costs £15.29 or your regional equivalent. The other game we'll highlight is Unreal Life, which is a puzzle adventure game where you play as a girl who has lost her memories and teams up with a talking traffic light. I think I've officially heard it all now. You'll be attempting to solve mysteries by comparing memories of past and present, and the blurb goes on to say that you will chase the girl and the traffic lights in this atmospheric puzzle game. I'm not really sure what that means, to be honest. Anyway, it will cost £22.49, bloody hell that's expensive, and it came out last Friday. Looking at the games coming out this week, and the first one is another adventure puzzle game. This one is called Ever Forward. You play as Maya, who is trapped in a strange world, and you will need to use your observational skills and your intelligence to solve multiple puzzles and solve the mystery of Maya's past. In terms of game mechanics, the blurb mentions teleportation and gravity control, as well as stealth and the aforementioned observational skills. It'll be interesting to see how all of this fits into the actual puzzle solving. It will cost £11.59 or your regional equivalent.
Sorry. Mom, you have to. Maya.
I'll handle it, Mom.
No! You're staying inside, understand? You're too young to go out there.
Here goes.
Next up then is Guardian of Lore, which is a 2D RPG. You are fighting to save the memory of ancient civilizations from an evil magic, desperately attempting to preserve them for future generations. It says you will run, jump and fight your way through a magnificently crafted world for each folktale that you enter. Levels can be traversed however you want, and you can use both weapons and magic in combat. The amount of story details that you recover inside a level will change the way it plays according to the blurb, which certainly sounds interesting, but when you watch the trailer itself, it all looks just incredibly stiff and, well, cheap for want of a better word, I'm sorry to say. Maybe it plays better than it looks. We'll find out when it releases on the 6th. Then we have Sam & Max Beyond Time and Space. This is the sequel to Sam & Max Save the World, a game that is already on the Switch, and we've actually reviewed it as it happens. I'll put a link to that review in the top pinned comment if you want more information. Beyond Time and Space is a point-and-click adventure game, and this includes all 5 episodes that released over the course of 2007 and 2008 for its original release. This has received some quality of life improvements by members of the original team, and the story will take on the crime beat for a showdown with Santa Claus, a race to subdue a giant volcano, and a face-off against a Eurotrash vampire. The Sam & Max games have a following and were well received back in the day, and this will cost you £15.49 or your regional equivalent.
Read my mind, Sam.
God, I hope not.
Sam, they're all
They're more frightened of you than you are of them.
It's the end of our civilization, but you can save us.
Next is Transient Extended Edition, which is a science fiction game based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft. Okay, I am listening. Describing itself as a Lovecraftian cyberpunk thriller as you delve into a post-apocalyptic future where mankind lives inside an enclosed citadel created to survive the harsh outdoor environment. You'll be solving puzzles, hacking systems and exploring other dimensions, and this extended edition includes additional gameplay, a new ending and some other quality of life features. It costs £17.99, but it does have 15% off of that price until the 15th of December, and it releases on the 8th.
Locations this place as for your kind.
If you're reading this message, it means that I have failed you.
Only a handful of your kind could reach this point.
Coming out on the 9th is Monopoly Madness from Ubisoft. This is Monopoly with a twist, as Mr. Monopoly himself has gone on holiday and you and the other players are in a real-time race to try and replace him. It says that there is no board here and you will instead roam the streets of Monopoly Town collecting money, water and electricity. There are 20 new playable characters inspired by classic Monopoly tokens, 4 unique environments and power-ups are available via the community chest. It's always nice to see a new adaptation of a classic game, and with Christmas on the horizon, this might be worth keeping half an eye on. It's going to cost £24.99 or your regional equivalent. You have Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX on the 9th, which are games that first came out on the PlayStation in 97 and 99 respectively, although it looks as if the first game didn't actually come to Europe at all, and the sequel came out a year after everywhere else in the year 2000. This is a big franchise by all accounts with 14 games across a variety of consoles, and it has its own anime too. I know very little about the series, I must be honest, but I believe they are monster breeding games where you bring said monsters into battle, and the originals had quite a unique concept of acquiring monsters by putting CDs into your PlayStation. I'm not sure how that worked or even if I've got that completely right, to be honest, but it is referenced in the blurb here where it states that this has been replaced with a new music database that can be used to generate monsters by searching CD titles. The DX version includes a few quality of life features, and again the blurb mentions that these were added based on fan feedback. Perhaps fans of the games or the show can let us know a bit more about it in the comments section, but it will cost £24.99. The penultimate game for the week is Super Impossible Road, which is a futuristic racer where you must master hairpin bends and cheat to win by bypassing checkpoints and gates and attempting to crush your opponents. There is 4-player local split screen available, it has gameplay running at 60 frames per second, there is a career mode and vehicle customization, as well as tracks that are procedurally generated each time. This is going to cost £20 when it comes out on the 9th, but there is 15% off of this price up until just before launch. And finally for the week we have Loop Hero from Devolver Digital. The world has been thrown into a timeless loop and plunged the inhabitants into never-ending chaos. You must wield an expanding deck of mythical cards to place enemies, buildings and terrain. Unlock new classes, cards, perks and guardians on a quest to shatter the cycle, so says the blurb. It goes on to say that you will need to strategize, placing buildings and terrain, find a balance between your cards to increase chances of survival and overcome a series of guardian bosses. It really does have quite a nice aesthetic, not just in terms of the quality of the pixel art, but I really do like the layout of the user interface as well. It's going to cost £13.49, but it is another game with a pre-order discount, 10% off up until launch. So there you have it, another week of Nintendo Switch releases. Do any of these games interest you at all? Will you be picking any of them up? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget, if you do want to get yourself some eShop credit, you can use our website to buy eShop cards. There is a link to it in the top pinned comment and in the description as well. As we've mentioned a few times now, we are hoping to have the North American regions available soon, so thank you for your patience if you are from that region. A quick thank you to our Patreons as always for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.